Hello, internet world. I am here with Melanie, and we are here today to discuss an organization here in St. Louis. It is called WUMCHA, and if that's not a name that you're familiar with, it's because it's not a real name. But I would love for Melanie here to introduce herself and then also explain what WUMCHA is and then what it stands for. Melanie?
Sure. Hey, Zoe. Hey, everybody. So I'm Melanie Ciotti. I am the current president of WUMCHA, the Washington University Medical Center Housestaff Auxiliary. See my shirt here? I guess it's too small. But we are a community or support group. We're a department of Barnes-Jewish Hospital in WashU since 1982. So we've been around for a while. We have a funny name, but in reality, that's the Washington Medical Center house staff being the residents and fellows, and then the auxiliary being their support system.
That's awesome. So what does WUMCHA do? What's the purpose of it? What can people expect if they were to join WUMCHA?
Sure. So WUMCHA is all about the medical community and physicians in training and being their support group, right? So you have these residents and fellows who are graduating medical school, going across the country for residency and moving all over the place and usually leaving their families or their support system behind. And so when they move to St. Louis, they are lacking some of that support, and WUMCHA tries to fill that hole, fill that void.
That's awesome. So what would they expect if they were to join WUMCHA? I mean, you're filling a void, but what all kind of activities or functions or support do you guys provide for these families that come in?
Well, think about it. What does your support group or your community do? It's a lot about friendship, right? So we have a lot of social events, from running club once a week to Margarita Mondays. That was a favorite of mine personally. I ran that for a couple of years. We have a book club. We have a lot of play groups or a lot of families with young kids in WUMCHA. We might even start up a singles club because we have a lot of single residents who are part of WUMCHA. It's not just for families or kids. So there are a lot of social events that are, kind of small, monthly or weekly. We also have these big social events like our welcome brunch. We always have a big holiday party, some Halloween party or Oktoberfest kind of thing, spring picnic. So we do a lot of those social engagements to really bring people together so you can build these relationships, because making friends when you're older is hard. It's not like you're sitting across from somebody in the cafeteria. It's not like you just bump into somebody at the grocery store and become instant friends. So we're trying to bring the community together and provide that support and build those relationships. I always think of WUMCHA in this positive light. We're bringing people together. Maybe somebody has a baby, we set up a meal train, people deliver home cooked meals, and everything is positive and fun and, all rosy. But I've had friends in WUMCHA who have lost a family member, or their house flooded because a pipeline broke or something. And WUMCHA, as your support group and your community, band together in those times too. So when you don't have family to come by and check on you, how are you doing? Or, our pipes froze yesterday and I didn't know what to do. I moved here from Florida. So I went
Not something that you're experienced with?
Yeah. So I went onto our Facebook group and I asked somebody, help, I need a plumber. What do I do? And I had a recommended plumber here by the end of the day, and we had our water back on running. So not having a community here is, really a problem. And WUMCHA helps with that. So that's what WUMCHA does.
That's awesome. You mentioned a lot of social engagements, and as we know, in the year of 2020, especially in the medical community, we're not engaging with each other in person as much. Have you guys still been able to engage with each other and socialize and kind of pivot, as people would say? There's been a lot of pivoting in 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, we've done as much as we can. So since we are a department of the hospital system, we had to abide by their rules. So they were limiting engagements and events to 10 people. So all of our events were 10 people or less. But with that, we were able to do some in-person events. The Missouri Botanical Garden has this awesome event every year at the end of the year called Garden Glow. It's their big Christmas light festival. So we booked, I think, maybe 4 different outings. So 10 people, 4 different times. So we were able to get about 40 members out to experience that. And that is if you're new to St. Louis, that is a classic St. Louis tradition that you have to go to. I've been here for 6 years and I've gone at least 3 or 4 times. We've done a few like Zoom book clubs and some Zoom events. We've had our coffee breaks. We've had meetups around 9 or 10 in the morning where people still go out to a coffee shop. Usually we'll try to do it outdoors, but it's frigid out there now. So
Yeah, that's a
these
little
heaters
hard.
can't do that much.
No, and the Botanical Gardens also, to preface, because we had a group of people, it is outdoors as well. So that is amazing. That was actually one of the first dates my husband and I went on, but it was 6 degrees when we went. And so he still makes fun of me for saying that it was brisk out that night because we basically froze to death. Okay, so it sounds like there's a lot of social activity, a really easy way for people to make friends and get a little bit more acquainted with and familiarize not only with each other so they have friends, but also with things in the community, because that's always fun. St. Louis has so much cool stuff to do. And I think that it's awesome that you guys, meet at different restaurants and different coffee shops and different libraries. The library system in St. Louis is awesome. I've taken my kids to participate in WUMCHA's like toddler book club. So much fun. The libraries here are actually amazing. So what's the criteria to join WUMCHA?
Sure. So WUMCHA is primarily for the house staff, so the residents and fellows of the hospital system, right? But we have a lot of members who are post-training physicians. So they're already done with their residency and or their fellowship. We also have members who are still in medical school. They are still part of this kind of physician in training life cycle. And WUMCHA is for that demographic and their spouses, significant others, and families. So if you are not a resident yourself, but your boyfriend or your wife or whoever is your partner in life is, then you as a couple or you as a family are still eligible. And we cater not just to the physician, we cater not just to the spouse or the children, we cater to that whole family unit. And like I said, we do have a lot of single members as well. So it's really anyone in this physician in training life cycle, whether you are coming to St. Louis, leaving St. Louis soon, or you're here for the long haul. I firmly believe that there's something in WUMCHA for everybody.
How would someone go about signing up, and is there a cost related to participate in WUMCHA or be affiliated? I don't know, be a member of WUMCHA. There we go.
No problem. So if you head to WUMCHA.com, it's just WUMCHA.com. You can learn all about how to sign up there. You can apply online, and the application is just asking questions about what program you're affiliated with, because you don't have to be WashU or Barnes Jewish affiliated. We have members from SLU. Like I said, we have members in medical school still. We have members in the medical community at large. So you just fill out that form online. It'll tell you based on whether you are affiliated or non-affiliated with WashU, what your dues are. And you send the dues into the address on there. It's all online, and it's a pretty simple process. It's just a form you submit, and then you send your check in, and we welcome you to the community.
That's awesome. Last question, just so that we can finish on a personal note. I know that you may not be in St. Louis long-term and forever. While you've been here, what's it meant to you to be a part of this organization?
It has meant so much to me. So when I first moved here with my husband, we moved here for his residency, and we've stayed here for his fellowship. When we first moved here, listen, I'm a strong, independent woman, right? Like, I don't need my husband to take me out to see the town and all that stuff. You know, I would take my bike out and go explore. I've gone to like Six Flags by myself, right? Like, I don't need him to accompany me. But at the same time, when he came home from work, from residency, and all he wanted to do was sleep, I'm in a space where I'm in a new area and I want to go explore, and I don't want to go to bars by myself every night and go do everything by myself. So I met a friend going to the YMCA that was next door to our apartment, and her husband was also a resident at the same hospital. And she was like, you have to join WUMCHA. It's going to change your life. You're going to meet so many friends. You're going to have a great time. St. Louis has so much more to offer than what you're experiencing right now. So I joined, and she was right. She was right. I was going to all of the happy hours and taste of the town, getting to all of these new restaurants that I hadn't been to. And I wasn't relying on my husband, who was exhausted from his residency, to take me on these date nights. I could just go out with friends and
And I'm
live
sure
my
he
life.
appreciated the extra sleep too.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think it's amazing. Well, I have absolutely appreciated WUMCHA. I've loved following you guys. I love being a portion of the, like you said, the Facebook group. Again, during COVID, we may not be able to see each other, but there's still so much support in that group right now. If you have any questions when you're in town, like you need someone to do your lawn or to clean your house, or you need a plumber, or you need a window, I mean, anything, you can ask this group anything. And it seems like there's always so much information and resources in there to help you, and they're reliable too. So that's always important as well. So no, I agree. WUMCHA has just been a great resource to have. So yeah, just to wrap it up, if anybody's interested in learning more about WUMCHA, WUMCHA.org.
Just.com.
Com. Sorry, go ahead and visit that website. All right, Melanie. Well, thank you so much for this conversation. I look forward to sharing the word and getting people familiarized with WUMCHA and hopefully members of the organization.
Thanks so much for having me, Zoe.